सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहि तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। आज हम लीडर्स, ट्रू लीडर्स के बारे में थोड़ा बात करेंगे, एंड दैट by means of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. As we all know, Shrimad Bhagavad Gita is a life manual. It prescribes us all the means to live the life with zeal and zest. Life is full of action. Life is full of dedication. Life is full of awareness, and that a comprehensive knowledge, that a comprehensive, the best proportionate of karma, bhakti and jnana is Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. If we talk about the leaders, then we will talk a few things about the leaders, and we'll try to make it more and more real, more and more practical by means of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. Who is true leader? Who should be the true leader? The people who just control the people, or the people who liberates the people? Who is true leader? That is the question. In current scenario, we see many leaders as political leaders, or maybe spiritual leaders, religious leaders. They are bonding the people. They are making the people in bondage. They are making the people in narrow. But it should not be the in real sense. The true leader should liberate us from the lowers and tries to go up the highest. The true leader helps us in picking up the higher missions and getting liberation from the lower missions. That's exactly Shrimad Bhagavad Gita tells us, that exactly Bhagavan Sri Krishna does with the Arjunas. So leaders is who gives us options to liberate from the bondage. In Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, if you see right from beginning, when Arjuna gets eluded in the middle of the war field, from there Bhagavan Sri Krishna gives Arjuna a lot of options to get rid of that illusion or delusion. Bhagavan Sri Krishna makes him with many options, but don't force to adopt any options. Right from beginning, if you see, there are around 700 slokas, 18 chapters in Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, and only today we focus on the topics of the leaders, leader qualities, type of leadership, and all those things we will try to understand by means of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. So if we start this topic, we will start with this verse, the verse 63, chapter 18. So after a discussion between Sri Krishna and Arjuna, Sri Krishna gives him a lot of options, and last what he concludes, iti te jnanam akyatam guhyat guhyatare maya vimrisya etat asesen yatha ichchasi tatha kuru. Hey Arjun, iti te jnanam akyatam. I have given you this knowledge. Guhyat guhyataram, which is very sacred by me. Vimrisya etat asesen. You just remember it completely. Asesen means complete. Vimrisya means just remember it. And then do as you wish. Yatha ichchasi, as you wish, tatha kuru. That you do. So this is the bottom line of the leader's quality and the function of the leaders, that a true leader, a true master should not bound us by means of many things. What is happening today, maybe some spiritual leaders, maybe some political leaders are bonding us in the frame of their own interest. Political leaders are bonding us in the frame of races, in the frame of poverty, in the frame of education, in the frame of many things for his own benefit. Some of the spiritual leaders, some of the religious leaders are making us educated in such a way that we are confined within that particular area, and that gives us the bondage, that binds us not to fly freely. But it should not be. A true leader is like Sri Krishna, who gives all the informations, who gives all the clues, who gives all the knowledge to the Arjuna, which is very important, very logical, and guhya and guhyata, which is the great knowledge, which is the greater knowledge, and which is the greatest knowledge. And he is saying that you remember it, but don't follow by means of my advice. You just apply your brain, and then you start following what you feel it is good for you. Yatha ichchasi tatha kuru. So this is the I would say true leader's quality. You see the Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. What are the qualities of the true leaders? What are the quality of managers, and how the true leader differentiates from the manager? So leaders always guide us. Manager orders. Krishna never says, Arjuna, you do that, or you do that, or you do that. He always gives the options. Lok asmin dvi vidha nishtha pura prokta mayanaga sankhya yogen yoginam karma yoga. So this philosophy is given by the Sri Krishna to the Arjuna in chapter 3, slok 3. He is saying that there are two ways to find me, Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga. Sankhya Yoga, Jnaninam, Karma Yoga, Yoginam. So, who is extrovert should do the karma, who is introvert should do the jnana, more in nature. But he doesn't emphasis to Arjuna that you do this or you do that. Whether you should do the karma or whether you should do the jnana or you should follow the bhakti, he never says that. But he gives a lot of options, he gives a lot of information, he gives a lot of uh, knowledge to the Arjuna through so many verses into the Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, and that is the true symbolism of this is the symbolism of a true leader. Leader is giving the top line. Leader is planning. Leader is doing the things for the long term. But the managers or who is not a true leader is talking for the short term, is talking for implementation, is talking for bottom line, for the short goal, for the benefit of the short one, the manager talks, but leader doesn't. Leader believes in the process, not into the goal. Leader does the right planning, not only the implementation. And leader believes that there should be a top line very clearly planned. You see, Shrimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 is all about the Arjuna's sorrow. Arjuna Vishad Yog itself it is. And when the description of Duryodhana and Arjuna comes into the chapter 1, Duryodhana always says that so many soldiers are ready to sacrifice their lives for me. Bhavo Anya Sura Veera. There are many Surveer who are ready to sacrifice their lives for him to make king. That is very narrow mind thought. That is very short term and very bottom line things. Duryodhana is only thinking him to make king, not for the benefit of others. But at the same time, Sri Krishna thinks for establishment of the dharma, the righteousness. Righteousness in the kingdom, the dharma into the kingdom is the priority for the Krishna. Whereas Duryodhana is looking for only kingdom, not a dharma. And that is the difference between a true leader and not a true leader. Krishna does all the things for the dharma, and Duryodhana does all the things for the dhana. Krishna does all the efforts to stop the war when he is ready to go as a mediator to the Duryodhana, talks many things. But Duryodhana in the ego, in the illusion, and he tries to bound the Krishna. And we should understand that Krishna, who liberates all creatures from the bondage, can he be bounded by anyone? It's just an illusion of people like Duryodhana. The second part of leadership, if we talk, then the true leader gives very relevant examples to the disciples or to the people to motivate him. Like Sri Krishna in chapter 3 gives a lot of examples, lot of appeals to the Arjuna to do the war or do the action. He gives the emotional appeal. He gives the vanity appeal. He gives the appeal by means of producing the self. So, emotional appeal in the chapter 3, slok number 20, he says, Karmane visal siddham astha jankadaya, lok sangram me vapi, kartum aras, sampasyan kartum arasi. Arjun, you should get the siddhi by means of action only. Karmane hi sansiddham asthita. By means of action only you will get the perfection. And he quoted the king Janaka and many others like him. And he says that the king Janak attains the state of perfection only by means of action. He doesn't quit the kingdom, he doesn't quit the regular activity, he doesn't quit the world, and he becomes a rishi, Raj Rishi. Janak is a Raj Rishi. But he always does for the last people in the society. He does good for last people of society, and that we call it log sangrama mevapi. Our action, if goes in the benefit of a general people of the community of the society, the last deprived people of the society, if gets benefited by our actions, that makes us the perfect. And that exactly Sri Krishna gives the emotional appeal to the Arjuna. Hey Arjun, just do your action in the benefit of the society. Then he gives the vanity appeal. He is saying that yat yat acharti sreshta tatat eva itaro jana sayat pramanam kurute lok tat anuvartayate. Yat yat acharti sreshta. What the great people performs or adopts, the rest follows him or her. Tat acharti eva itaro jana sayat pramanam kurte lok tat anuvartate. And whole world follows the great person. So a great leader should act or conduct all the activities in such a way that it goes into the benefit of the society, because everyone follows a great leader or a leader, I would say. So leader must be very careful while he is functioning. And after that, Krishna says that you see me, I am not here to perform any action, but for the benefit of society. For the benefit of society, I am functioning every time here. Na me partha asti kartavyam tesu lokesu kanchana na anavatam avavatavyam varta evcha karmani. Hey Arjun, na me partha asti kartavyam. Nothing for me is doable. Tirsu lokesu kanchana. In these three words, Akash, Patal and Jameen. Na anavapatam avapatavyam. And nothing is desirable and nothing is achievable Varta evcha karmani, but I am indulged into the action always. I am always acting. I never stops acting. Even though I am not required to act for getting anything. This is the appeal to the Arjuna by Krishna, and that tells us all about a great leader's quality, how the leader should motivate the rest of the people. Leaders always comes into the front. They don't go back. They always comes into the front. They always performs from the front. They always gives the example from the front so that the people, rest of people should follow him. And not only that, Krishna gives the consequences to the Arjuna if Arjuna will not fight a war. In Slokas 24 of the same chapter, 3 Karma Yoga, Utsidehu ime loka na kuryat karma chedam sankarasya kartashyam upanyam imam prabhujaha. Hey Arjun, if you will not fight, then all prajas will be killed or will be vanished, will be ruined. Sankarasya kartashyam, and you will be responsible for duality. Sankaras means Sankar matlab duality, dual. So he is threatening him also. He is giving the emotional appeal also. He is giving the reference of a great person also. He is giving the reference of Janak and others, so that Arjun should understand it. Arjun should come into the understanding of the action and should start the action. So this is the quality of leaders. Nowadays, leaders are not talking in the same language. Leaders are talking in the language of their own interest, their own benefits, not the benefits for the others, for the society, for the country. So we should understand by means of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, by means of the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Sri Arjuna, what it talks about. And every topics into this modern management, I would say, or modern positive mental health topics are coming from any of the slokas of the Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. We will talk sometimes on that. But today I am stick to the leadership. So now comes to the third point of the leadership, the type of leadership. And Shrimad Bhagavad Gita has very clearly describing the type of leadership, and by means of that only the modern leadership are divided many parts, but I would say that it is 4 parts. One is directing. The type of leadership is directing, who gives the direction to others to follow it. Then the another is the coaching. Some leaders type is of coaching type, who coaches the others. Supportive type. The third one is the supportive, who supports others to perform the duty. And fourth type of is the delegating, who delegates the work to the others and expects the work to be done by the delegated peoples. So directing, coaching, supporting and delegating. These 4 qualities are already mentioned into the Shrimad Bhagavad Gita in a very beautiful ways. Into the chapter 18 from 42 to 44, 3 verses, Sri Krishna describes the quality of these 4 leaders, and in that language 5000 years ago, the language comes as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. This is a type of leadership. So, if you see verses 42, Samah, Tamah, Tapah, Saucham, Shantim, Arjavam, Jnanam, Avijnanam, Astikyam, Brahma, Karma, Swabhavajam. Here he describes the quality of a Brahman, and Brahman is the type of leadership which called in a modern management coaching type, who coaches the people. So a true Brahman can coach the rest of the world in very right spirit in terms of Sama, Dhamma. This is the quality mentioned here. Sama, Dhamma, Tapa, Saucham. Sama, Dhamma means mind control, senses control. Tapa means austerity, physical control. Saucham is a very, very important quality of a leaders or a person, I would say. Saucha means suchi. Suchi means purity. Whether it is external purity or internal purity, which is mansa, vacha or karmana, or surrounding, or your cloth, whatever you can take it. So nowadays our leaders are focusing more and more on suchi. Jnanam, Vijnanam, Astikya. Who must be the Astik? Astik means who believes into the super power, which is unknown. Who believes in existence of nature. Who believes the existence of unknown power, who is the spectrum, who is the basis of all functions by all the creatures. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina atasthani sarvabhutani nacha tesuaham. Bhagavan says to Arjuna, Maya tatam, I pervade all the creations, all the things in this universe pervade in me, but I don't pervade in all. The verses number 3, chapter number 9. This is a coaching type of leadership, and that type of people can be leaders of that type. The second one is direction, gives the direction. So this is the 43th verse, what Krishna says, Sauryam Tejam Dhriti Daksham Yuddhecha Apalayanam Danam Ishwara Bhavascha Chhatrakaram Swabhavajam. This is the second type of leaders quality. Shaurya, Teja, Dhriti, Daksha. Stability and determination to fight into the war. Yuddhecha achapalayanam. Dhanam. Tendency to give to the society. Ishwara bhavam. Who leads from the front. This is the Kshatriya karma by means of Swabhav, by means of nature. And that comes under the second type of leaders, and that is the directing leaders. Third one is supportive, which 43 verses of 18th chapter says, Krisi Gauraksha Vanijyam Vaishya Karma Swabhavajam. Krisi means agriculture. Gauraksha means to protect the cow. Vanijyam, to do the business. And if the people have this type of quality, they are very supportive to others. So the third quality of leaders is supportive, means Vaishya, Krishi, Goraksha, Vanijya. And the fourth type of leadership is delegating. And in the same verses, Sri Krishna says into the Arjuna 43 verses of 18th chapter, Paricharya Atmakam Karam, Saudra Karam Shabhavajam. To serve the people, this is a very important quality of a person or leader, that he serves the community, he serves the people, he serves the last people of the society, he serves the deprived people, he serves the nature, he serves the universe without expecting anything. That's in Shrimad Bhagavad Gita called the Sudra Karma Svabhavajam. And in all four are equally important for a leaders to function as and when required as per the circumstance demands. So no one is right or wrong, but a proportion of these four as per the nature, as per the swabhav, as per the circumstances are true type of leadership. If you see the Hanumanji, he has all four qualities. I and you have all four qualities as per the time, as per the surroundings, as per the circumstances. In the very morning, we all are Brahman quality. The days goes on, we become the Vaishya quality, where we do our business, where we do our service, where we do our cultivation. But at evening, we become the Kshatriya, or at night we become the Kshatriya. We protect our wealth, our other things from the devil, and at night we become the Sudra when we do service of others. Maybe mother does service for the son and daughter, maybe wife does service for the husband. So all those qualities are not necessarily independently a leader should have, but a good leader should have the right proportionate of those qualities, four qualities, as per the time, as per time demands, as per circumstance demands, as per situation demands. If you see the Hanumanji has all four type of leadership qualities. He becomes Brahman, he becomes Kshatriya, he becomes Vaishya, he becomes a Sudra as per the time demands. When he goes first time to meet the Rama in Kiskindha Kand, he takes the form of Brahman, and then he meets the Rama. So Brahman. When he goes to the Lanka and meets the Vibhishan, he takes the form of Brahman and then meets the Vibhishan. So this is the Brahman, and Brahman means the coaching type of leadership. All description we can have more, but here just we are relating the type of leadership by means of our scripture, which is a great scripture, either Ramacharitra or Shrimad Bhagavad Gita or Mahabharata or Vedas or Puranas or Upanishads, whatever it is. Then when he fights into Sundarakand with all the evils in Ashok Vatika, he becomes the Kshatriya, directing type of leader he is. When he does all the works of the Ram, then Ram says, Sunusutta Tor Urinamainai, means I am not the debt free from you. And we should understand who are this type of leaders, means Vaishya. Vaishya means businessman. then only we take the depth from him. So Lord Rama, the supreme power, says that I am in the depth of you, means he has the Vaishya Guna that time. And the last one, Sudra Karma, means all the way to serve the Supreme. Paricharyatmaka karma. Any actions of Hanuman, any action made by Hanuman, only for serving the God Rama. So Hanuman Chalisa it says that my all actions goes for service of you. Ram Kaj Karbeku Atra. Prabhu Charitra Sunbeku Rasya. So all the actions, if doesn't lead a people to the higher goal or higher mission, means there is something problem in that action. And in Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, the quality of leaders, what we see so much thick books in so modern management, one verse of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita tells the main qualities of the leaders. This is the last discussion, quality of leaders. So Shrimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 10 verses 38 says that Dandam Damyatam Asmi Niti Asmi Jigivatam Maunam Cha Asmi Guhyanam Jnanam Jnanvatam Aham. Bhagavan says that, hey Arjuna, I am Danda, I am Mauna, I am Niti, and I am Jnana. These four qualities of leaders. Leaders should have these four qualities: Dandam, Niti, Maunam, and Jnana. If you go on the description, if you go on describing these things, it will take hell of time. So, what we want to conclude today, that from the scripture like Shrimad Bhagavad Gita ji, who gives us all the ways to live the life with full of confidence, full of reverence, full of knowledge, full of awareness, full of understanding. By means of these scriptures, today we understand some point of leaders, true leaders. Who are true leaders? How it differentiates from the so-called managers. How true leaders motivate the people. What type of leadership and what is the quality of leader. So if I summarize it, then the takeaway for this session is: fulfill your role, develop vision as a true leader and share it. And all the style of leaderships are okay, but leadership style as per situation is okay. So with this, we conclude this session, which name is leadership, by means of our scripture, Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. Thank you all. Om Purnamad Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnas Purnamadai Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you.